Hi there, good afternoon. We're back with the show me and tell me questions. So we have two questions. We're carrying on from our previous post. The previous one was question 3. So we're now doing a tell me question 4. Before we do that, just a quick recap. So you'll be asked 2 questions on your driving test. One of them will be a tell me question, one of them will be a show me question. The tell me question will be done at the start of your test before you drive the car. The show me question will be done while you're driving the car, and it's a task that you would need to carry out while you're driving. You'll get 1 driver fault if you don't know the answer to the question or you answer it incorrectly. In terms of questions, if you get 1 of them wrong, you will get a minor. If you get both of them wrong, you'll still get the same minor. You don't get 2 minors, you only get 1. However, you will fail your driving test if, say, potentially the task that you're carrying out, so when you're doing the show me question, potentially if it ends up going dangerous or something goes wrong, you will then fail your driving test. Now the tell me questions consist of some show me and tell me questions. Some are show me, some are tell me. We're going through the tell me at the moment. We're on the 4th question. How would you check that your tyres are sufficient tread depth and that their general condition is safe to use on the road? Essentially means, how do you know that it's safe for you to drive the car? Now this isn't just your car, it's any car that you drive. So let's say, for example, you borrow your dad's car. You are responsible. Once you turn that engine on and you move that car, you are responsible for that vehicle. It's important that you understand you need to be taxed, tested and insured in that vehicle. If you are not, they will take that car off you. Now a lot of people try and drive their car on their parents or on their brothers' sisters' names. The police know who's insured on that vehicle. Very important to make sure you're legal on there. Okay, so in terms of tread depth, your tread depth has to be 1.6 mil, 3/4 of the way around the tyre, central 3/4, and their general condition should be no cuts or bulges. So the answer to that question is no cuts or bulges, 1.6 mil around the tyre. That's an easy way of doing it. However, I'm now going to give you my opinion and tell you how I do it. Just so a few seconds, guys, while I turn the camera around. Okay, so to have a look at my tyre, I'm spinning the wheel, dry steering I know, to the right, and we'll have a look at that tyre together, okay? So here we are. This is one of my front tyres. So my car's a front wheel drive. That means the motors, the power is on the front of the car. So you'll see these little notches here. There's 4 notches. These are tread wear indicators. Once they are exposed, so once these are at the top and this bit isn't here and these are sticking out, this tyre would be illegal. So this is approximately 1.8 mil, so this tyre needs changing. So we can see the condition of the tyre is okay. However, this now needs changing. So this tyre will be changed either today or tomorrow. So I'm going to ring a garage, book my car in and get it changed. I'll explain how that works in a few moments. Now we can see that there's no cuts or bulges on the tyre. So over here, the tyre is clean. There's no damage to the rubber. So they're referring to the black rubber on the tyre. So we're going to have a look at this wheel as well. We can see that there's no damage to the outer wall. They call that the outer wall. And we can see that it's in good condition and there's no problems. Now the tyre is almost at the end of its life over here. You can see there the tread wear indicator there. Once these are exposed, all 4 of them, it's time to change the tyre. So we've gone over the front 2 tyres, then over the back ones. Now the back ones will not be worn out as much as the front because it's front wheel drive. That means the power of the vehicle is always to the front. The back ones are almost new, so these wear out a lot later. And you'll see the condition of this tyre is good. And this is the 4th tyre. And this one, the condition of the tyre is good. The tread wear indicators are almost at the bottom. That means this tyre is almost still brand new. And you'll see that there's no damage to the tyre. Now there's a couple of reasons why there's no damage to my tyres. First of all, I try and avoid getting close to the pavement. So when we park the car, I don't get too close to the pavement. So we were discussing why my tyres may be better than normal people tyres. First of all, the tyres that I purchase are always brand new. So whenever I purchase tyres for my vehicle, I always purchase brand new. That's the first thing. Second thing, when I purchase tyres, I try and purchase mid-range. If I can't afford premium tyres, for obviously for the job I'm doing, pupils damage them, I don't put budgets on. The reason why I don't put budget tyres on, they wear out quicker. So it's a bit like buying trainers from Primark and then buying Nike or something. Okay, another reason why my tyres don't wear out as much is I keep like tabs on the air pressure of my car. So in summer I might decrease it, in winter I may increase it. So I look at the tyre pressure of my car. Some cars, older cars, 2014 and below, you'll find that they don't have TMPS sensors. Them sensors pick up when your tyre has a puncture or when the air goes down by 5 psi from the manufacturer's set standard. So my car, it's 36 psi when it's cold from my house. However, what you could find is it could go down to 31 if I have a puncture. One of the lights will come on and it'll flash showing what corner of my car the tyre pressure is low. Sometimes, some cars, I had a Fiesta, a couple of cars before that, what you'll find is a light will come on the dashboard telling you one of your tyres is punctured. It won't tell you which one is punctured or which one doesn't have enough air. So what I do is every time I refuel in a petrol diesel car, I will check my air pressure in the petrol station too. Costs 50 pence a pound or whatever. Or you can buy a gauge like this. So this is a gauge. I've shown you in the last video. The top of this comes out like this automatically. So it will come out automatically. It'll come out like this. Okay. So this part goes onto the tyre. So you take the valve cap off and you'd put this on the tyre. Once you put this on the tyre, if there's any air in the tyre, this will slowly come up. Now when it slowly comes up, you can see the numbers on there. The maximum this will go up to is 50 psi, which for most modern cars, 50 is about the maximum. Now each car is separate, each model of car is different as well. So you'll see that this changes every time I turn this. So let's say here, you'll see I'm slowly turning this. As I'm slowly turning this, the numbers change. Now the number should finish here. So for the sake of argument, I've now set this at 34. You'll see the number finishes there with the white notch at the bottom of this bit here. And that will tell you your tyre pressure. So leading on from that, I'm just going to show you something now. And you'll see that my tyre pressure now shows drive to display. So you've got to drive this car for a little while for that to come on again. The reason for that is while you're driving, it gives you the accurate tyre pressure. Now this changes with weather. So in summer, it will be different to winter. In winter, it will show maybe 2 psi more. So I put a little bit more air in my tyre. Now this is all subjective to the last video. So not last video, the video before that when I discussed tyre pressures and how it works. So it's important that you have a reliable gauge, so something decent, not like AliExpress sort of thing. Make sure it's something decent. Make sure that you build a rapport with the garage buying tyres. Don't just go online, look at the first garage. There's lots of them out there. I use a couple of companies out there. I'm not going to name them, but it's certainly not the first one that comes up on your Google sort of list. So make sure that your tyres are in good condition. Make sure that it has a minimum of 1.6 mil 3/4 of the way around the tyre or all the way around the tyre to make it easy. And it doesn't have any cuts or bulges. To avoid them, the best way to do that is to make sure that air pressure is good. So make sure that you always regularly check your air pressure. Make sure that the tyre that you buy is from a recommended good outlet. So don't just buy it from a scrapyard. Make sure it's from a good garage. And if you can buy them in sets, a minimum set would be a pair. So I'm going to change both front two. And then rotate them. If you can rotate them, rotating is a bit better, but the only sort of negative effect with that is once your tyre pressure, excuse me, once your tread depth is low, you're going to end up with 4 tyres rather than 2. 2 are easy to absorb. You're looking at maybe £60 a corner for an average tyre. So when it's 2 tyres, you're looking at about 220. When it's 4 tyres, it's 440. So it's a lot of money. So if you can rotate the tyres, you'll find that more beneficial. So you move the front ones to the back ones to the front. Now the only thing you're going to not struggle with, but the only problem that you might have is your steering wheel will shake while you're driving. Now this happens because the front tyres are balanced. So let's say you get a tyre changed at a garage. I'll do a video on that so you understand that. Once you get a tyre changed, what they'll do, they'll take the old tyre off, they'll put the new tyre on, whack it on a machine, goes round, the tyre fits on. Then they take it off that machine and put it on a machine and the whole of the tyre sideways like this. So rather than flat, they hold it sideways. Once it goes on that machine, it spins. It spins and it balances the wheel. So it looks and sees if it needs balancing. So when you buy a brand new car that's just come straight out of the garage, the tyres do not need balancing. So the wheels, the alloys, don't need balancing. However, once you've driven it in Leeds and Bradford and local area sort of roads, potholes, what do they call them, speed bumps, whatever, you'll find that the wheel warms up and you damage the alloy. Once the wheel's damaged, then the wheel wobbles while you drive. So let's say, for example, you live on a road where you usually do a U-turn. When you do a U-turn and you drive onto the pavement, you put pressure on the alloy wheel. So if the alloy wheel is very hot, it bends and it puts a very slight kink on there. And if you keep doing that, you end up warping the wheel. So the wheel is then warped. When it's warped and you drive the car over a set speed, so it's usually around 65, 68 miles an hour. Once you hit 70 miles an hour, the steering wheel shakes a little and you feel it. Then if you push the car where it's permitted, and certainly not on the UK roads, if you go above 70, you'll find that the wobbling stops. So when you're off-road and you're in a field on a runway and you increase your speed above 70 miles an hour, you'll find the steering wheel shakes and then it'll stop shaking around 74, 75 miles an hour. And that's because the wheels need balancing. So what you would need to do is take that wheel or take the car to the garage and say, can you balance my front wheels? Now that will cost you maybe a £5 a corner. So they'll take your wheel off, put it in the machine, take some weights, and it's like stickers. So the weights are aluminium. They come in 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 gram weights, and they'll put the weight where the weight isn't on the wheel, so the car wheel rotates smoothly. Now the back wheels, to make my point again, the back wheels are not balanced. So because the back wheels are not balanced, if you put them on the front of the car, the wheel's going to wobble unless the wheel's not damaged. So what you'd need to do is before you swap the wheel over and put the wheel at the front, the garage say, can you balance them for me? If they don't balance them for you, ask them to balance them. Once they're balanced, you'll see the difference. So the steering wheel shakes, it does this, it shakes, it's like it's scared or like it's cold. But all it means is the wheel needs balancing. If the car's pulling left or right while you're driving, you've either got low air pressure in the opposite side. So let's say it's pulling this way, that means that wheel has low pressure. And if it's pushing that way, then this wheel has low pressure. Or your tracking's out. If it slowly glides that way, it means your geometry, the tracking, your wheels are perfectly aligned straight like this. And what you'll find is your tracking is out. The tracking goes out if you drive onto the pavement a number of times, it knocks the geometry out. Or if you go over a speed bump fast. Let's say you go over the middle of a speed bump with the left wheel, you'll find your geometry will go out. Again, you've got to go to a garage and you've got to get that fixed, and that's one of the reasons why you lose your the tread on your tyre. Another reason why you're losing tread on your tyre, especially if it's on the inside or outside. If it's on the outside, it means you're turning corners too fast and your tyres are just not up to it. If it's on the inside, it means you have a problem with your not CV joints, track rod ends, or your ball joint. That means there's something wrong under your car. And how do you work that out? You're driving the car and you hear when you go over a speed bump or something, you'll hear this noise, like a tapping noise between you. It's like somebody slapping their fingers together. And what that is your ball joint or your drop links are damaged. And it's always on one side rather than the other. If it's a Ford, it happens to both sides actually. But if it's a normal car, it'll be one side. All you do, go to a garage, tell them what your fault is. They'll have a look, they'll push the car up, they'll put a screwdriver in between the drop links and it'll tell them if it's loose or if it's working properly. That's a cheap fix, but that's normal in today's world and society. The reason for that is we have speed bumps everywhere. And because of the speed bumps, your drop links are under a lot more pressure. Your drop links are like your ligament between your ankle and your leg. So the faster you drive over a speed bump, the quicker you damage them. And on some cars, they're very expensive to fix. Mercedes, Audis, VWs, etc. On Fords, Hyundais actually they're quite expensive. On Fords, they're about 20 quid. This maybe about 60 quid. Audi maybe about 80 quid. So if you keep changing them, or your garage keeps telling you to keep changing them, you have a problem with your car or you have a problem with your driving. Either way, it needs addressing. Okay, so I've gone through all the questions reasonably in terms of how you work out your tread depth and why you're having problems with your tread depth. I hope you understand that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to sub.